Welcome back to a new video. Now, in today's video, as you guys can see in the topic, I'm going to talk about the importance and why I invest a lot in my workspace, okay? And why I'm planning to invest a lot more into it. Now, what I've realized and what I've focused on the last couple of weeks or closer to like a month, 2 months now, is that environment is super, super important, right? And it really depends on the type of person you are. Like some people are able to work very, very well and very effectively, like by traveling abroad. Like they'll have their laptop and they can travel and they can live that lifestyle and work really, really well. Other people need to put themselves in different situations, move out, maybe increase their expenses, whatever it may be, to actually start working and having a lot better input, right? Other people, they don't really know what environment affects you and how it is actually affecting you. And you don't really know until you do it, right? Which is kind of the situation that I've been in. And I've recently been thinking a lot that what if my limit of where I'm at right now and why I've been stuck at a certain point where I have been stuck is because of the limitations on where I am, right? I am in the exact same room that I used to game in. I'm in the exact same house that I grew up in. I'm in the exact same area where I have friends that don't want to do anything huge and big in their lives. Like nothing bad about what they want to do and them wanting to live a normal life, but there's just no exposure to real actual wealth, right? There's no real environment here where I can thrive and actually challenge myself, right? And I've been thinking that is that a thing where that is limiting me in being able to actually grow and scale to where I want to get to? Like, is that a factor in where I want to get to? And I'm not entirely sure if it is, but what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to start traveling a lot more. And when I say travel a lot more, I mean like literally travel places where I spend a lot of time there, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months, and just try to live on my own because I want to see if that is something that can help me. I want to see if me living alone puts enough fire under me and puts me in a different place where I'm now affected by my environment to be able to actually grow a lot more and not be comfortable in a sense. And for some people, like being in a position like what I'm in, and maybe some of you guys watching this are in a similar position where you have very little overhead, like in your personal life. Like you don't actually have to spend money unless you want to spend money. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because if you think about it, it can be great, right? And it can be great in the sense where, let's say you're making 25 grand a month and your profit is about 15 grand, 16 grand, 17 grand, whatever it may be. And you're only spending about $500 a month. Like you're able to save so much money and reinvest and be super on it, right? You're able to be super like, I don't even know how to explain it, but you're able to be like very aggressive with your scaling. That's the word, right? Now that's a benefit, right? That's a plus, right? Whereas it could also be that when you're making, like, say for example, 18 grand a month profit, and you're spending 500 a month, you're like, why would I need more, right? You're looking at it, and you're like, oh, but I'm already comfortable, right? Like there's nothing that I need to spend money on. There's nothing I need to invest in or whatever it may be. So why essentially get more money or whatever it may be, right? There's so many different thought processes you can have, and I feel like I'm kind of in the middle there, where I'm like, yes, like I have money now that I can capitalize and invest into things. But again, I want to put myself in a situation where I have to make more money, right? So I'm either thinking of traveling a lot, and the other thing that I'm thinking of, and the reason I'm talking about this and even making a video on this is to help somebody else out there that is in a kind of similar situation, is another thing that you can do, which I know has helped me, is changing the placement of the work that you do, right? So, for example, say you're in your room, right? Which most guys starting out are, which is totally fine, right? It's kind of like being in your mom's basement, right? Imagine you have a bed, right? You have a bed on the left side of your room, you have your desk on the very far right, you have your windows there, you have your clothes there, like whatever it may be, like whatever the setup of your room is, change it, right? There's something about changing the way your room sits. And I did this the first time I actually scaled from zero to my first like 10, 11K months is I changed the setup of my room to be able to get there. And that's another reason for why I think I was able to do it because I don't know, I kind of felt like this new person and got this new identity. It might be placebo. I don't give a shit. It works, right? And what I basically did is I switched around from where I was sitting to place myself in a different way. I also changed the color of my room and I also changed the setup of my whole room. Like got a new bed, whatever it may be, got a new desk, got a new chair. Like things were different, right? And that actually helped me, right? So I'm a firm believer in that it does help you when you change your workspace and you change your environment for success, because being in the same place that you were always is going to associate your brain with those old patterns and those old habits that you want to get rid of, right? So I'm a firm believer in that that is a possibility and can genuinely help. Now, it is very important though to be aware that you don't want to just waste money. You don't want to go places and travel just for the sake of traveling and not actually seeing any benefit out of it. But I am a firm believer that environment is a super huge and a very important factor for growth, right? So I'm going to keep you guys updated as well on what I do and what I decide to do and how it's going to work. But I wanted to share this with you for anybody out there that is thinking that environment is limiting their growth, which yes, it very so might be. And then second thing is an option, right? So if you have money, travel a little bit, like go somewhere, stay there for a month, and see if that actually helps you. Stay there for 2 months, even if you can, right? Get some responsibility on yourself. Second way is to, and this is what I would recommend if you don't have a lot of money, but then also you don't want to risk too much and you don't want to put yourself in a too uncomfortable situation in the beginning, is change around with your room, right? And then one last thing is also you could also potentially get like an office space or like a rent a place close by to your home, and then commute back and from there like as if it's work, and actually go there and work, right? Because your brain would then associate that place as work, right? Oftentimes, in what I did in the beginning, full transparency, is I would have my bed like beside me, like you wouldn't see it on camera, but it would literally be like 2 feet away, from my desk. And what I would do is I would work, and then whenever I got a little bit tired, I would just simply go and lay there. And that's literally the place where I sleep. So I look at it, I'm like, that's where I sleep. And I boom, I literally go 2 steps and I work, right? Which again, like I said earlier, it can make or break you, right? I didn't like that setup, so I wouldn't recommend it. If I had a place to actually go, I would wake up and I would know that my room is just for sleep, right? Completely blacked out. It's sleep. I wake up, I go out, and I go work, right? It's completely different, but totally up to you what you decide to do. That's a couple ways to go about it. If you have any questions or any thoughts, or if you like would want my advice on anything or whatever it may be, reach out on IG below. And I'm looking forward to see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you. Peace out.